By Trill, straight Killerville, dog, 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 dog.
What's good? What's good? We are back. Another live for Fayettenam. Saturday interviews and music reviews. I'm joined by the one and only Mr. J. Our special guest just popped in. I'm so excited. Straight from originally from Seattle, Washington. This cat came out in 1988, if I'm not mistaken, if I got that right. Debuted on the Sir Mix-a-Lot album, Swas, on the track Ripper. Let's bring him on, the one and only Kid Sensation. Kid
Yo,
Sensation,
what
what's
it do?
good,
What it
man?
do?
How you doing, man?
It's good with it. It's good with
Appreciate
it.
you taking time, man.
Yeah, man. Good to be here. Good to be here.
All right, we got you on the big screen. I
Do
want
I
to
need to
start
go
with
horizontal? Do I need to flip this?
that would be
Good.
I want
better
to
for
make
the
sure it look
clips. It
right,
would
man.
be
We got to
better for
make
the
it right.
clips. Yeah, yeah, let's flip it for the clips.
Too easy.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Now you looking real good,
all
man.
right, man. You got me good. You got me good.
Yep. All right, so I want to start here. The Sir Mix-a-Lot debut on Swas, the track Ripper. That was 1988, correct?
That
How did
was
that opportunity come
80.
about?
Ooh, man. Ripping, man. Shoot. I think that was more like 86. 86? Yeah, about
86?
86, man.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I was like
Okay.
15, man. I was like 15 on that album.
Man, I was 86. I was 7 years old. So how did that come about? You getting on that album?
Word. Man, listen. So I used to, Sir Mix-a-Lot, a lot of people don't even know this, man. The reason why his name was Sir Mix-a-Lot is because the dude used to be a DJ. I mean, he used
Okay.
to DJ parties, man. He used to, DJ events, and he was all about his scratching this stuff, man, cutting and scratching. That was what he was about. And then he started making music by, like, when he would DJ a party, what was his kind of hook or his way of attracting a little more attention to himself was like he would take a instrumental on the flip side of an album, or a record I should say, like a single, right? And he would take the instrumental. You know how the instrumental was always on the flip side of the 12-inch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so he would rap over it and do something kind of like similar to what the song was, but then he would put a little Seattle twist on it, or a little some kind of twist that gave it his own flavor. And so that's how he started introducing himself as a rapper to the rest of the world. And so we would do these events, and I was just living in the same neighborhood as Sir Mix-a-Lot. And when he used to
Okay.
like make mixtapes, and when I say mixtapes, this ain't like the 2000 definition of mixtapes. I'm literally talking about Mix-a-Lot would go and buy 12-inch singles and records and albums of different people, and he would take those and he would use his microphone to like maybe spit your name over. He'd be like, "Yo, Paul, man, hey, thanks for buying this mixtape, man, and I'm making sure it's hot and fresh for you. I got all the fresh cuts
Okay.
from New York and LA and whatever." And he would say your name on it, and then he would put on a cassette tape. He put
Yeah.
like 10 or 15 or 20 songs on there for you, man. And you had to make sure it was a high bias tape so it sound good, man. So you youngsters go Google high bias cassette and we'll put you on game.
That's
But
crazy.
man,
Yeah.
he would create these mixtapes, and that's how I got to know Sir Mix-a-Lot, was through him making me mixtapes, and he put my name on them and do all
Oh
that. And
shit.
so I was just a kid, man. I was 12, 13 years old, and I get these cool cassette tapes from him because I'd get all this music that I couldn't afford to buy. I'd get all these songs, all the latest, freshest hip hop on one tape, and it'd be like, yo, I wouldn't even have to go and buy but just that one particular tape. So it was dope, man. And so then I started hanging around him, and when he would DJ parties, I'd be like his roadie, man. I'd carry him, he'd hand me all his equipment out of his window, man. We put it in the trunk of his Buick. You know the song? Okay, you guys remember the song My Hoopty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that exact car that's in that music video is the one that he had, the big Buick Deuce and a quarter, man. It was green. It was like
Wow.
split pea green, bro. And so we would open up the trunk of that car, man. He'd hand me speakers and and turntables and all that out the window. We put them in the trunk. And then we'd head off to the venue, man. And I was just a little kid, man, just trying to be his roadie. I would like be And I would always just do anything to be around or involved in the music. I'd be like, yo, man, can I like start the record for the next, song? Can I do this? If he had to take a bathroom break, I ran behind the turntable so I could and then start the next record. Anything I could to be around the music. And so that's how I got to know him. That's how I got to be kind of like behind him. And that's where I ended, man. It was the same thing with getting on the song Ripping. Once he started releasing music and putting and the radio started playing, and you guys, hopefully you're familiar with DJ Nasty Ness, who was in Seattle at that time and had the biggest radio show, man. He brought it was called Fresh Tracks, and he brought all the freshest cuts from New York and LA and everywhere else to play on his radio station. And so Mix-a-Lot started getting his music on there. And so, man, I would be like, hey, can I talk in the background? Can I just say, oh, or can I do anything on the music? And so I would do anything I could just to be on the song, on the record, whatever the case is. And slowly but surely, I was just showing him, man, I would write my raps, I would do whatever. I was just trying to be a part of the music. And so he finally put me on and let me rap on the song Rippin'. And that is how I ended up on the track.
That's
That's
crazy. I gotta ask a question before Mr. J goes in because you just brought up a name. Nastiness. If I'm not mistaken, I think my guy Roker told me he started college radio mix shows, right? With the Sir
Yes.
Mix-a-Lot.
Yes. He
Yes.
literally has originated so many things that have to do with radio and hip hop. And, he was the reason why a lot of these college radio stations patterned their shows after what he
Yeah.
did, man. They just started springing up everywhere. And he was able to just pioneer so much stuff and break so many artists that we had never heard of. The West Coast just wasn't getting that music. And then he would play it on the radio. And all of a sudden, man, boom, it'd be big over there. So he broke so many artists and he was such a trendsetter.
Yeah. I definitely heard about that.
dope. That's dope. You kind of gave a little bit of background on the scene at the time and how y'all got in there. How do you feel like the scene has grown? Because they point to, of course, Sir Mix a Lot, then they have to mention your name, and then maybe little bit longer down the chain, you talk about a guy like Macklemore. How do you feel like it's changed, or is there more people in the scene that people hadn't really heard of, and what's the
Oh,
growth
yeah,
from
man.
then till now?
Yeah, for sure. I was just I played in a one of the things that I do. I love to be involved in community events and charity events, all that kind of stuff going around in the Northwest. And I flew up there to Seattle just to be a part of the Seattle All Star Classic. It's a baseball, I should say, a softball, celebrity softball game that I've been a part of for the last couple of years. And yeah, man, it's like Travis Thompson. You guys know the name?
As an artist, a
Yeah.
musician, nah. I know a bare knuckle fighter guy named that.
Yeah, man. You got to look this dude up, man. He's fire. He's from Seattle, and he's worked with everybody. But him and G Easy got a pretty dope song, and but like he's worked with people all over the country and all over the place, man. And there's so many budding artists that are coming. But I played with him in that, and I got to meet him for the first time. That's why I was bringing that up, man. And you guys got to look him up, man. He's real dope, Travis Thompson. But like
Okay.
there are so many young new artists, man, that have come from the Northwest that are doing like so much incredible music, man. And Macklemore has done a little bit of what we did kind of back in the day, man. He kicked the door wide open for a lot of these young cats to really kind of like go mainstream, man, and drop new music and really be recognized, man, because it's like before Sir Mix-a-Lot and I really started to kind of like, quote unquote, put Seattle on the map. Man, people just like Seattle was like this forgotten piece of the West Coast, man. Like, when the West Coast made the "we're all in the same game" thing, man. Like Sir Mix-a-Lot and
Yeah.
I, we just totally got ignored for that, man. It's just like nobody thought and that was because we were just starting to really kind of like establish Seattle as some sort of a hip hop force. And Macklemore was able to really take the baton, man, and run with that, man. And it's really dope. And I saw what Macklemore was interviewed recently, and they asked him. They said, just being a white rapper and everything like that. He said, "Do you feel like people say that you're really just like a guest of the culture?" And he said, "You know what? I absolutely agree with that." He said, "When you look at the the start of the way hip hop, was birthed in the Bronx, and it was music that was made out of the pain, the poverty, the struggle, and it told stories about, that's what hip hop really was. And so everybody that has been introduced and added to the music, they he said that, especially us white dudes, man, who are just out here rhyming, doing whatever, and yes, it's out of our pain, out of our struggle, but shoot, country music was there, outlet and whatever the case is. He said, but hip hop is definitely a black art that I feel like I'm a guest to. But I say, hey, man, these guys are all welcome guests. And Travis Thompson's not black either, but the bottom line, I think he's native, as a matter of fact. But the bottom line is that, man, hip hop is a music that makes space for dopeness. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, where you come
No
from.
doubt.
And that's what's been proven over the years. That's how we were able to make it from Seattle, is because after a while, people said, man, we just recognize dope music. And, I had the great fortune, man, to sell 1.5 million units in my career of CDs and tapes. That's not even talking about my streams and all that.
That's
And
what's up.
it's because people just said, "Hey, man, we ain't worried about whether he's from Seattle or wherever, man. We just recognize and respect dope music, man." So I'm appreciative of just of that opportunity.
Now you hosted Yo MTV Raps and BET's Rap City. What was that experience like?
Oh man, like yeah, I'm dating myself, man. But yeah, man, Fab Five Freddy, and then of course on Chris. The oh my gosh, his last name is escaping me, but he was the mayor of Rap City. I don't know if y'all remember from
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
but man, it was just really dope. That felt like almost like we were recognized. Like wow, man, like they're actually like they've played our videos, and that's a huge step. But now to have these dudes, Ed Lover kids, and say, I'm sorry, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, the other Dr. Dre on MTV
Yeah.
Raps, being like, "Yo, up next we got my homeboy Kid Sensation and da 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 da." And he broke solo from some Mix a Lot and Posse on Broadway. It's like, man, like I'm thinking, I watch these dudes when I come home from school, and they know who I am. Like it was a real surreal moment, man, to have my stuff being played on MTV and on BET and I actually hosted Rap City. I hosted my own episode of Rap City, and it was just really really dope, man. Because it was like this is what I used to come home and couldn't wait to turn on after school, and like these dudes actually are like knowing who I am and playing my videos and what they're gonna have me on the show. It was a surreal moment, man, and it's really dope, man. It's really dope to be recognized for what you do.
All right, so this one
Yeah.
baffled me. Like when I first went to LA to visit my grandma, I went to a baseball game. It was the Angels versus the Mariners. And of course, Ken Griffey Jr. played. He didn't do too well, but how did you end up getting him on a track?
It's so funny, man. So when Ken Griffey and I met, this is really crazy. So in Seattle, man, baseball is not really like king of the sports, man. Basketball really is. I mean, if you
Yeah.
really understand how Seattle is, man, it's rainy up there most of the time. So football, cool. We definitely love our football. We love our Seahawks. We love whatever. But the sport is basketball up there,
Yeah,
man.
y'all
I
want
mean,
the Sonics back. Y'all want the Sonics back.
come on, man. You
Yeah.
see me representing right now.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. We trying to get our team back. And it's really not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, but that's just between you and me and, the people listening to y'all's podcast. We gonna get our team. I'm just letting you know. I know people in high and low places, man. And so
That's
yeah,
what's
we gonna
up.
we gonna get our team back. But yeah, but as far as the sports world was concerned, man, I mean, Seattle really is like a basketball mecca, man. I mean, you think about the players that have come from there, all the way back in the day with, Doug Christie, and then you go start jumping into the Jamal Crawfords and the Nate Robinsons and the, Aaron Brooks, I mean, we have so many players from even back in the day. Like people, what? He's from Seattle? Jason Terry's from Seattle? Are you serious? And then, you start jumping into today's day and Paulo Banchero and all these different guys. You got these elite players that are coming from this little tiny city. And then think about this, which is really crazy. New York Knicks, the Knicks had an all Rainier Beach High School. One high school in Seattle, Rainier Beach, had the starting point guards, Nate Robinson and Jamal Crawford, from one school, Rainier Beach in Seattle, right? Like that's the New
Damn,
York
I
Knicks
didn't know
starting
that.
backcourt. That's crazy, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't know that. Wow.
we have had, if you talk about per capita and talking, and I'm talking in terms of the size of our city versus how many players have come from the city, man, there are like it's incredible the number of um Seattle basketball players that are born and raised in the Northwest that people just completely, forget about and trip off of, man. There's just so many of us, man. I just ran into Rodney Stuckey the other day, Detroit Pistons. I mean, I
Detroit
just ran
Pistons.
into him
Yep.
the other day when I was up in Seattle, man. I hadn't seen him in a long time, so it was good catching up with him. But it's like people don't even know Rodney Stuckey from Seattle, right? I mean, it's just so many of them that have. So anyway, all my point being is that when I ran into Ken Griffey Jr., and we ran into each other at a car stereo shop, right? And so we both got our cars, hooked up. This car stereo store up in Seattle that used to do custom, jobs to cars. We both didn't even know that the other one frequented that store, and whatever the case is. So I got my car. I got a Mercedes sitting up in there, and they take your car, man. They have it for like a month because they're taking out parts and panels and customizing everything or whatever. So I go up there every once in a while, check on my car, and just stop in and see what's up. And so they were like, "Yeah, man, you need to meet Ken Griffey, man. Yeah, he's been coming here and he's been getting his car done, whatever the case is." And truth be told, man, I didn't even know who Ken Griffey Jr. was,
Oh
right?
man, for
Because
real?
I'm not into
Damn.
baseball, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just being honest. I was just not into baseball. I didn't know anything about him, whatever the case is. But I did know that the Mariners had picked up this young kid, that was African American and that could really play. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. But the name, nothing connected, right? And so I'm up there at the car stereo store, man, and they're like, "Yeah, man, you got to meet Ken Griffey, man." And I'm thinking like, "Okay, yeah." I'm playing it off like, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah," like I know who this is. I'm thinking, maybe he's a lawyer, maybe he's a real estate agent, who knows? But he's got a really nice Porsche up here, and he's getting his car done. So, okay, cool. You guys introduce me to the real estate agent one of these days. That'd be good. And so they were like, actually, the owner's like, actually, Ken's gonna be in a little while, man. I really would love for you to meet him, whatever the case is. So finally, I'm like, who is this dude? But I ended up meeting him, and then when I saw him, and then he was talking to somebody that was there, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I got to get down to batting practice, and whatever the case is, so I can only be here a while. I just wanted to see what was going on." He was doing the same thing as me, checking in on his car and seeing if he wanted to do something, a little different, whatever. And they get to a certain phase, they're like, "Okay, come in and look and make sure this is all going the way you like." So he was stopping in, and I'm like, "Oh, so wait a minute. That's okay. He's not a real estate agent or an attorney, man. He's actually a dude. Okay, okay." And
He's an
so
all-star. Yeah, he's an all-star baseball player.
Yeah.
incredible. So I of course I play along with it, man. What up, man? Good to meet you. Whatever. They introduce us and all that kind of thing. And he's like, and he knew who I was. And matter of fact, it was so funny. We exchange numbers. We do all that stuff. And then we catch up later on, a couple days later, whatever. We go grab some food and whatever the case is. We sit here, and we used to eat at Denny's all the time, man. Both of us, we love Denny's for whatever reason. And so we eating at Denny's, man, and we chilling. So I go back to his house or whatever the case is, and he's got like a couple copies of my album at his house and some mix-a-lots and all these other albums, whatever the case is. But he's got like a couple copies of it. Then I get this car and he's got a copy of it. And then I'm like, "Man, did you need maybe an extra copy or two? Like, how come you got so many copies of of all the albums, whatever the case is?" He said, "Nah, man, that's just how I do it." He said, "I need a copy for every car. I need a copy for, so when I
Oh
buy an
man,
album, I gotta buy an album and I
Yeah.
gotta have one on the boat.
rich
I gotta have a
people,
couple in the cars. I gotta have one in that car, this one, then I got one for the house." I'm like, "Okay, now
rich
this all makes
people.
sense. This all makes sense." And we go to the record store together whenever a new album would come out. He wanted to do some shopping, so we would always go. We didn't go to like the major record stores. We go to little, we didn't go to mall ones or whatever. We'd go to the little mom and pop type record stores, and he'd be like, "Yo, all right,
Cool.
put me on, man. What's good, man? What's the good music?" And they'd be like, "Oh, you got to check out the new DOC. Oh, you got to check out this, that, yeah." Okay, cool, cool. And I'd be buying my CDs and I'd buy everything up or whatever. He'd buy 5 copies of everything that was new and came out. You know what I mean? And so
Damn,
we would go to the record store. For him to spend $1,500 was just that's just a Tuesday, man. That's just how he did. And he'd buy five
crazy.
copies of every new fresh album that was hot. So he and I we're we're getting to know one another. We're hanging out. We're always, man, we play spades. We have fun. We do everything that that young cats would do. But he would always, I'd be like, man, I gotta go, do this, do this, do this, and he'd be like, nah, man, I mean, shoot, you ain't, at least you ain't got to do this, this, and this, and this when it would come to batting practice, or it'd come to spring training, or it'd come to this, to that, and the other. And I was always, razzing him, oh man, shoot. Well, how hard is it to hit a baseball, man? Whatever, Well, how hard is it to get on the mic and and this and this and this, and all of us entertainers, we all want to be athletes. That's why I'm playing in these
Yeah,
different
yeah.
celebrity games, and you can't stop me from playing in celebrity basketball games or celebrity softball, whatever it is. I'm always trying to get out on the field or flag football. If they're putting on a charity event, I'm in. If they let me play, I'm gonna play. And so it's the same with them, man. Anytime that they have a chance to entertain, be on a TV show, be in a movie, be in a song, they love it. And so we got to talking, and it kind of almost had turned into a bet as to which one was the easier, or who could do the best at the other one's profession, right? And so I'm like, man, all right, I tell you what, you get up in the studio, man, and I'll show you that I can hit a fastball because it don't look that hard. And so anyway, I got it. He actually came through. I wrote him some raps. He came through on the way I swing, did the song. And I said, okay, all right, this is dope. I said, man, we releasing this because shoot, you a hot baseball player. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Why
So I
not?
dropped it on the album. And then he was headed to spring training. And I'm just kind of getting back from the road. He's like, oh, no, 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 brother. There's two sides to this one. He said, I need you to drive one of my trucks down to spring training anyway, man. So come on, man, let's roll, man. Let's roll. All right, man, come on. I'm going down to spring training with you, man. And I'm going to jump in the batting cage and I'm going to see what's good, man. And so I went down there to hot Tempe, Arizona, 115, 117 degrees, and hung out with him, man. And I actually got into the batting cage. And I'm not going to say that I stunk it up or nothing like that, but I'll just say that he did better on the mic than I did in the batting cage. We'll put it there.
Couple of them fastballs kind of whizzed by. Huh?
Yeah, man. I jumped into a cage called Wild Thing that they used to, you had to sign a waiver to hit in this cage, man, called Wild Thing. Because I'm hitting the balls that's going 60 and 70 miles an hour. Those ain't too bad. I'm like, okay, I'm making a little contact. I'm hitting them. See, he said, all right, well, step over here into this cage, man, and try this one out, man. And, I'm sitting here. I'm ready. All right, come on, man. Send the ball. Let's go. And all I hear is, pow! The ball hits the backstop. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, the ball rolls away. I'm like, okay, all right, I got to wait for another one. And I'm like, oh shoot, man. And I'm like, so I had to kind of like take a step back. And he said, man, come on, hit the ball. And Edgar Martinez, all these guys over to the side, cracking up. They like dying laughing. And then finally I put the bat out there, man, trying to get a couple of, I'll say I at least made a little bit of contact, but like actually consistently hitting them, nah, man. It was like, okay, I respect, man. This is harder than it looks.
Your world, that's your world. Yeah, you've been on a couple labels, Ichiban, A&M, uh, Save the City. Could you kind of give us the feel of going from different labels and how how it may be a little bit different from label to label?
Yeah, that was, man, I'll be honest, that was one of the toughest things about being, you know, being an artist back in the day was the business side of it, man. I mean, obviously, if you make it big and everything like that happens, that's fantastic. But there was this business side of it that was so hard, man. It made it so difficult. Ask NWA and them guys, right? They were one of the biggest groups, man, in the late 80s, early 90s, man. But when all was said and done, man, those guys, they left almost with nothing, man, because the business side of it just ate them alive. And the same thing would happen to a lot of us, man. It just like, especially as guys who are trying to do a lot of the production, a lot of the mixing, a lot of the mastering, a lot of the, it's like we executive produce a lot of our records. We're putting the money up to get to the point of where we have demos and this, that, and the other. Then we sign to a label, and all of a sudden now things are different. Like the label is kind of like calling some of the shots, and they are taking the lion's share of the money, and they are doing this and that and the other. So the business side, man, it ate a lot of us artists alive. And I was very, very fortunate that when I signed my first deal and put out my first single, Back to Boom, when I walked in there and signed my first deal, Mix-a-Lot had already been taken off and doing his thing. I went in there and basically illegally entered a contract because when Back to Boom came out, I was 16, 17 years old. I signed my own deal. They gave me a check for, I think it was like, I don't know, 7,500 bucks. Man, they used to put a contract in front of me. Now I know math and I know numbers and I'm not stupid, but on the same token, I signed the contract without even necessarily reading it. And I didn't even, I just thought if I signed the contract, I'm gonna kind of get what Mix-a-Lot's getting in there. I'm watching him pulling up in Benzes and doing that. So if I just sign this contract, I'm just gonna be in the same boat as him. It said I'm getting, my 10% or whatever of the retail price and that. I didn't even know if 10% of what, who, wow. It was just, I just signed it, took the check. It was more money than I had seen in my life. And I just hope for the best. And what was crazy is that the label that we started on, Nasty Mix Records, and that name came from Nastiness and Mix-a-Lot, and the names kind of merged, and that's how we ended up. Because Nastiness was a big part of us launching that record label too. He is just absolutely an iconic figure when it comes to Seattle hip hop. But back to answering your question, when we signed a Nasty Mix, we had a very, very, very good situation and structure where we were paid fairly. In fact, we were paid way more than fairly compared to new artists and compared to other artists all around the industry. We talk, us artists talk. We talk to Too Short. We talk to Public Enemy. We talk to Tone Loc and Ice-T and Ice Cube and all these different guys. And we was putting a lot of them guys up on game like, man, y'all are getting beat, bro, man, because look, this is what y'all should be getting. And guys was like, oh, you must own part of the label. You must. No, these are just what deals really should look like. And we putting a lot of these cats up on game, man. And because you had artists out there that was selling hundreds of thousands, even up to 1 million units going gold and platinum that weren't even getting paid because they didn't understand the business side of it. So we was trying to put cats up on game. And they was not really getting it. Like, how is it that you guys are getting this and that and the other? Because we were in places where we were just in places, royalty wise and this, that, and the other, that artists that was way, way bigger than us, they just hadn't even sniffed that level. And I'm not saying it in a bragging way. I'm saying it in a way that, man, the business side of it is so hard, it's so difficult, and it will eat you alive if you don't really understand it and you don't really have your wits about you or good people looking out for you. And thankfully, we signed to our first label, Nasty Mix, and they really took care of us. And what ended up breaking up Sir Mix-a-Lot from Nasty Mix, and what ended up causing Nasty Mix to go bankrupt, because Sir Mix-a-Lot and everybody, we all started to discover publishing around the same time. And this was when we were on Nasty Mix, and it was a small label, man. Nasty Mix kind of started in the way that Def Jam did. It started in, almost like a dorm type of situation. We started a little small, apartment. Then it moved to a little office. Ed Locke, who was the president of Nasty Mix, started it out at home and then moved it to a little small office. It was a real homey feeling, man. I could just go up to the label. I didn't have to call and make appointments and all that. And I just go to the label and be like, hey, how my numbers doing, and talk. And there was no walls in the office, right? Those offices where you got half walls, and if you wanted to talk to, if you're in the retail department, you want to talk to radio, you just look over the thing, hey man, whatever, you just stand over the partition in the wall and you guys just talk. It wasn't like you had to send a letter or an
Got no little
email and
cubicle.
this and that. It was like, man, these cats just ran it. The label was run like a family, man. And it was a dope situation for us, man. And we got compensated well. But then when publishing got introduced, it started a lot of fighting because it was a lot of money that we did not know about and did not understand. And now all of this had to be added to the mix. And so Mix-a-Lot ended up leaving the label. I ended up having to carry the label for a while. But then the label was in the middle of trying to grow at the same time. So they were signing artists and doing all this different stuff and trying to pull all this thing. And then they moved into some more, instead of having this cool little lean, mean machine that they had before that was running this little tiny office where everybody was just, now all of a sudden they went kind of corporate. It's like, oh, well, now we're going to go into the seventh story of the Olive Tower. We're going to do this and that and the other. So all of a sudden, Mix left, the expenses got high, they started signing all these artists. Everything just kind of at the same time started to just spiral. And all of a sudden, man, I was caught in kind of the middle of that. And that's how I ended up on Ichiban Records, because Ichiban bought out Nasty Mix because they were in a lot of trouble. But they saw the model. It was like, yeah, we can take y'all over. We can do this. We can do that. So long story short, man, I ended up on Ichiban Records, and that's where I released like Town Funk and some of the other, albums that I released there, aka Mr. K Sin. And Ichiban started going through kind of like the same problems, man. And so it was like, label after label after label. It's like everywhere that I jumped, it was always some kind of issue, some kind of problem, And labels like A&M, bigger labels, those guys would sign you. You submit music, you doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and they'll just shelf you. If you've ever seen that, people say, "Oh man, that artist
Yeah,
had the sophomore jinx, right?
Yeah.
His album didn't do as good as the first album. And a lot of times, oh man, that he fell off, if you will. But a lot of times that ain't what it is. You be like, man, what happened to that artist? And you go and interview him, you talk to him, and he's like, man, I submitted some of the dopest material. They wouldn't pick it. They wouldn't take it. They took all these album filler cuts and they wanted to make that the album. Or, oh man, I kept submitting all this music and then they just shelved it. They wouldn't even release me, man. They held me up for 2 or 3 years. They have the power. They can do whatever they want, man. They
that's
can take you
crazy.
and make you a tax write-off. They can do whatever they
Yeah.
want.
Exactly.
And so, long story short, man, that's why I think so many artists now, even like Macklemore, he's a great example of that, man. This dude goes diamond, and he is his own label. Cats is like, man, I don't need to sign a deal. Drake and all these different artists, huge, huge, huge artists that learned how to say, something. We've got all these new advances, man. All this technology, all this social media, all these different things. Where man, back in the day, of course, you had when you geared up to release an album, you released a single. You released a video, you promoted, you had radio, you had all these different things. You promoted at retail, you had to do all this stuff to get it to consumer. Whereas now, man, shoot, these cats can become Insta famous, TikTok famous. They
Yeah,
just drop something, and with one click of the mouse, or one click of the button, or one click on even on their phone, all of a sudden they all over the world, man. And so it's just a different game. And so now I understand, a little bit better, and I'm moving differently because the industry has changed and evolved so much, man. And so to answer your question, bro, the label thing has its good sides, it has its bad sides, but at the end of the day, if you're willing to take the risk, bet on yourself. I feel like most of the time you're better off without any, signing to a label, just because you get to control your narrative, you get to control your release times, and you get to control your own destiny.
well, look, man, we're gonna have to wrap it up. We still got to get into music reviews, and we definitely want to have you back on, man, because I think we could
Yeah.
interview
Definitely.
you for about an hour or two right now, man. You talking about a lot of stuff, man.
No,
But
man, I appreciate
do
it.
you
I'm
got
sorry, man. I
any?
be rambling, but
Nah, it's
man,
all
it's
good.
just so
Do you
much
got
in me, man.
any?
I've been in this game for 3 decades, man.
Nah,
Plus,
that's why we want to interview you, man. Do you got any new music coming out or anything you want to shout out before you go?
absolutely 110%. So I have a new book and a new soundtrack coming
Okay.
out, and it's called Kings, and it's about young men discovering purpose and shaping their destiny. The book has a soundtrack coming out. We're working on a showpiece for it as well, because this book is all about us OGs, man, that have been in the game for a minute. And that's not just music, that's every aspect of life, man. I've gotten, speaking of, NBA players and Ken Griffey gave me a quote for the book. Jamal Crawford did, a whole bunch of different athletes,
Oh.
entertainers, even, man, real estate agents, the people that I know that are successful in all walks of life. I asked them the same question. I said, if you could go back and give your high school or young adult self one piece of advice, what would it be and why? And so it's really dope, man, that I got all this collective of just really, really incredible nuggets of information from successful men all over the world and all over the planet doing amazing different things. And I compiled it into this book that also tells a little bit of my life story and gives these young men some wisdom. Because now, I mean, listen, man, we're in that phase of life where it's time to start saying, okay, we've done our thing. It's not about me coming out with something and going platinum. It's all about now me saying, what can I add into the music business? What can I add into the community? What can I add into the listeners and the people who follow it, et cetera, like that? It's no longer about what I can get out of it, man. I've been tremendously blessed throughout my life to live a pretty comfortable life due to this music, man. And I'm so indebted to it. I'm so indebted to the people, man, that this is where I'm at. This is the phase that I'm in now, man. And so Kings, young men discovering purpose and shaping their destiny. It's the book, it's the soundtrack, and we're putting a reality show piece together with it. And then also Presently Past the Future is the current album that's out right now with West Side and Feeling Myself and all that. So we're still promoting that and still touring that as well. So it's been a beautiful thing.
Well, you a friend of the show now, man. So anything you put out there, man, make sure you send us the links. We'll make sure to promote it, show support. And I got family out there in Tacoma, so I will look you up if I'm out that way. And I think we lost Kid Sensation. Think we lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, look like we lost him. What dope interview, man. Dope interview, yo. That cat, man, that cat can talk up a storm, man. We're gonna have to bring him back on, man. See, that's what I'm talking about, Mr. J. That's an interviewer that's not dull at all. Like he had great stories, very energetic. Up there he goes.
And we have some jewels.
What up? What up? We
Am
lost
I
you for a
back?
second. Yeah, you back.
Can y'all
We
hear
lost
me?
you for a second. Yeah.
I can't hear y'all, but hopefully y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can hear us? Yeah, he can't hear us. Apparently he can't hear us. But
Go ahead.
yeah, shouts out to Kid Sensation, man. Dope interview. Definitely check out the new album, new soundtrack coming soon. I definitely enjoyed that interview. We're gonna get to a quick Dizzle break, and we're gonna be right back.
Tropical drink.
Me and my team, whenever we link up, they gotta be drink up. We sit down and relax and have few glasses when there's things to think about. Like I'm nice with the boss when I tend to the bars and I'm not talking drink ups. So tell the bartender that's tending the bar to please pass me a big cup up. And tell that waitress that's waiting on us to put a little ice in it. Now watch the ice become weightless like the spaceships that I be sitting in. Now wait and listen, no, they're waiting for that tropical twist that'll tickle your taste buds. Now taste some. Yo, I insist it's the Dizzle.
That's right. Go to dizzlebrand.com and we got Kid Sensation back. Can you hear us now, man?
Yo, man, sorry about that.
Nah,
Man.
you
I think
good.
something just interrupted
Yeah, I
my
was
phone
saying,
and-
man, now that you're a friend of the show, man, we following you on your social medias. We're gonna make sure we support everything, you do. And I got family out there in Tacoma and Seattle area, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm ever out that way, I'm gonna definitely look you up, man.
Bet, man. Yeah, I'm there quite a bit, man. I do lots of events and cool things there because I still love that community, man. And I'm there quite a bit. So it'd be great to connect. And I'm gonna follow y'all back on everything, man. And thank y'all for having me, man. This has been so much fun.
Appreciate it. And as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna run up some clips. We're gonna put some clips out, some little shorts and whatnot, and get you promote you as much as we can, man.
I'm excited.
Definitely gonna continue the network.
Yeah.
Excited for that. Yeah, man. I'm gonna make sure too, y'all know when the book is coming out, man. Make sure to get y'all all of that, man. And I love y'all support, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. You have a lovely day, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Blessings, fellas.
All right, peace.
Yep, take it.
Well, there you go, Kid Sensation, man. Great guy, right?
Yeah, man, definitely dope. Definitely dropped a lot of jewels, a lot of history in every story that he told. It's kind of crazy that, like he said, Seattle doesn't necessarily get a lot of, push, a lot of pub when it comes to West Coast hip hop. But I mean, just in that little bit, man, it's just so many jewels, so many different things you can kind of pull out, and that it's just the history is rich.
You know why I'm so happy we interviewed him too? He brought up one name that was really the Nasty Nez, man. The reason why I was so excited when he brought that name up, that's my guy, Chris Roker. That's his guy. He told me about him. You know what I'm saying? He introduced me to him. He's the one that told me, like, yeah, this guy invented college radio mix show campaigns. And he did with the Sir Mix-a-Lot records. So yeah, man, that's the thing. That's why we digging in the crates right now, man. We digging in the crates for these interviews. All right, but we're going to get into some music reviews, and, we're just going to we're going to try to get through it as quick as possible. I know we did about a good 40-minute interview right there. We're going to have a lot of good clips to clip up. Let the AI do some clipping. Let's get into the first joint. We got only a few death metal joints today, Mr. J, so I ain't going to hit you with too much. Let's get... What is this? Care featuring Reed and the Angry Poet. Hold up. What is the name of this? Yeah, Care featuring Reed and the Angry Poet. Let's get into it.
Baby girl, I still care for you. You can run from my heart, I'm still here for you. Cause I thought I'm losing you was unbearable. I get hysterical, trying to build the life I wanna share with you. I still care for you. You can run from my heart, I'm still here for you. Cause I thought I'm losing you was unbearable. I get hysterical, trying to build the life I wanna share with you. But I ruined things, I did that. I fucked up, I did that. I hurt you, I did that. I can't be mad when you get your licks back. Cause I ruined things, I did that. I fucked up, I did that. I hurt you, I did that. I can't be mad when you get your licks back. I just wanna love you so damn bad and I don't know how. Baby girl, I just wanna love you so damn bad and I don't know how. Baby, I just wanna love you so damn bad and I don't know how. And I'm so fed up, I can feel my soul come down.
What you got for me on that, man? The beat sounded kind of crazy, didn't it?
That intro. I mean, yeah, that's I think that's radio ready as far as like the vibe. Of course, he's gonna have to do a radio edit. But
what you
the
giving
radio
it?
ready,
Yay, nay, or okay?
Yay. I give it a yay. It's definitely, he got the little 8-second lead in that DJs want, kind of mix it down. So yeah, he's walking.
I'm gonna go with
in the right
okay.
direction.
I'm gonna go with okay. Something about the beat was kind of awkward to me. All right, let's get into the next one. Beautiful Skeletons, Temperous.
This temple, my body, vibrating with addiction. My vessel, it trembles. Temptation, the devil, defiled and corrupted, and I love it, yeah, I love it.
I'm going with a yay on that. I like that shit.
All right, I like it.
It had
Go
a
with you.
long intro. Had a long intro to lead up to the vocals, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I'll give it a yay. It kind of sounds like a mix of Korn and System of the Down. So yeah.
All right, so
that's the vibe I got from.
let's get into the last night's interviewer, Drasmatic, featuring R. Skeffy. And this song is I Know the Real Ones, produced by DJ King Flow, friend of the show. Let's get into it.
We see your persona, you mega phony, the washed up one trick pony. Listen, you can't rock with me, jabroni. Embarrass you in front of your cronies. Best believe it's close by if I ain't got it on me. You my peeps, you hear some shit, you better fucking warn me. Cause loyalty
like that.
is everything. And everything and everyone is not loyal. You mix water and oil, that's when the plan spoil. You wanna see if a nigga is a snake or a rat? It's simple. Just set up a thirst trap, then wait long enough to see if they go for the bait. A rat that chew his arm off to escape, and a snake is always gonna bite. The problem is you don't know when they gonna strike. That's why we install them switches on our pipes.
I know the real ones. I know the real ones. I know the ones.
That's a yay all day.
No doubt, definitely.
I don't even gotta hear the next verse. And yo, damn, that King Flo laced the hell out of that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
That might have been the best one I've heard so far from him, man. Wow. Shouts out to my man DJ King Flo in France. Stayed up to 2:00 in the morning for the interview. You talking about love, yo. That's love. All right, let's get into Amat's Me to Be. Amat's Me to Be. Sounds good so far.
Someone they can hold, they can touch. Everybody needs somebody who can be told, can be trusted. I'm so sad, life becomes the kind of that you want.
I wanted more out of the vocals. They don't sound really clear. They could be a little louder, but I still want to give it a yay for some reason. There's something about it. It sounds like, I don't know, like 70s to me or something, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sounds really 70s hippie to me, man.
70s vibe, 70s like classic.
Yeah,
vibe.
I like the vibe. I want the vocals to probably be re-recorded a little clearer or something, man. But it's definitely got that 70s hippies vibe that I definitely like because my dad was a 70s hippie. Hey, let's get into Mr. D Puller featuring Top Dre. All I Need Is One.
Top Dre. All I need is one mic and I'm just gon' take flight. These bars global every night. Vegas, I just might turn up, I stay tight. I'm high as a kite. Make sure that chant right. Then Top Dre on sight. All I need is one mic and I'm just gon' take flight. These bars global every night. Vegas, I just might turn up, I stay tight. I'm high as a kite. Make sure that chant right. Then Top Dre on sight.
One mic on sight, these player haters like termites. I ride the beat like she ride the bike. I give it to them just how they like. People try to give you insight, but I stay lit and I stay pipe. Glenwood, the Boulder Crest, East Atlanta, you know the rest. I show the rest, give them nothing less. They playing checkers, I'm playing chess. I'm feeling good, I must confess. They love to see you stressed, but I stay dressed for success. Lyrical, spiritual, gotta work hard on the physical. They like, ooh, pull it down, here we go. Can't get it out the corner store. When I'm wearing top, they scream for more. We bringing what you ain't heard before. Now they wanna see us on tour. New Mac and hard to the core. We getting money with the best of them. No talk for the rest of them. We like Nike, keep checking them.
All I need is one mic and I'm just gon' take flight. These bars global every night. Vegas, I just might turn up.
What you got from a yay, nay, or okay?
Yeah, that's a yay. That's a yay. I mean,
I'm gonna go with a yay too. I don't think he needed that vocal effect either. I think I would have just went without the vocal effect. Like I felt like he was riding the beat enough. Definitely the beat had me bouncing over here. Yeah, shouts out to Top Dre, Mr. D Puller. All I Need Is One. That's the homies from East Atlanta, Georgia. All right, let's get into Brain Drag Rhapsody. I don't know if there was a change up, but it was taking too long. I'm gonna go with a nay.
The music was good. I'll give it a yay just because the instrumental was good. That's for music files. It's not for radio consumption or regular
Or
consumption.
music reviews, I would think. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing. Even with
yeah.
music reviews, like Trill said last week, man, don't drag out these long intros, man. Get straight to the point, man.
Gotcha.
Straight to the point.
People
Toast with a Los. You could submit it live from Fayettenam@gmail.com, but we are not taking no more music unless you skip the line. You got to skip the line. Right now, we got a track list already loaded, and whoever's loaded in is getting played unless you skip the line. But appreciate you tuning in. Toast with the Los on Instagram. Let's get into OG Millionaire twerking.
She twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. Let her act a fool, she twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. Let her act a fool, she twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. Let her act a fool, she twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. She bout to act a fool.
Okay, cool. Let's see what you can do. Make these bitches in here feel why they don't want you letting loose. They see you, it's over. All of them heading towards you. Do it to them so good, they come back looking for you. Cause this shit right here, they shake and bake that ground and pound that swerve and spray. Moving the pressure, staying on the grind until the pockets break. Moving state to state, city to city, all in a day. Working the play to set the vantage point to watch the money raise.
She twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. Let her act a fool, she twerking. Watch out and move, throw that ass in the circle. Let her act a fool.
What you got for me? Yay, nay, or okay?
Yeah, I'll give it a yay. I got those throwback vibes, kind of like some cash money era type joints.
I'm gonna give it a yay too. That's the big.
He got on, and Mystical before he got on No Limit.
Yeah, that's the big homie OG Millionaire. Shouts out to him. He's out of Georgia as well. All right, we got just a few more. Let's get into Pam Ross double wide. I only lived in a single wide before.
I'm out dancing on a hot tin roof. Everything's been different since I met you. Now I'm making changes to plans I had, and staying in on Friday don't seem so bad. I'm sending smoke signals far and wide. Right, I love you across the sky. You light me up like a Roman candle, and I can't hide what's inside. You and me got a love so hard, we're gonna burn this double wide down. Ever since you took my hand, folks see flames for miles around. We're lighting up the sky at night, the talk's all over town. You and me got a love so hard, we're gonna burn this double wide down.
I was almost gonna get my bad. I was almost gonna give it an okay, but I gotta go to yay. I gotta go to yay. Once I got to the hook, man, I gotta go to yay. I like that.
I gotta give it okay, I guess, for the same reason. It sounds a little generic. It doesn't sound specific. It sounds very kind of generic. Something that might be in a Lifetime movie or something. So I give it an okay.
All right, you know what? And we're gonna move this one song down because we got a couple songs. We got a song in a little while featuring Kid Capri, MC Light, and I forgot who else. So let's get into Mr. 118 featuring Knowledge and LJ Heiss, and the song is called Beast. Mr. 118 featuring Knowledge and LJ Heiss, Beast. Let's get into it.
Cruising down the highway, rocking to my new shit, smoking on some grassroots, posted with my new bitch. I'm staying in my lane. I'm focused on my business. You know I can't fuck with these druggies and these snitches, so I stay low key, putting time OT. You know I ride legit, cause the Fed stalked me. This shit is not a game. I focus on my money, sitting on a beach somewhere where it's sunny. I know my fucking haters, they really can't stand this. They really like, damn, how the fuck this nigga managed? It's all in my hands. I really did plan this. This shit is set in stone, so I really can't vanish. Put me in the jungle when you know I'm gon' feast. I been dip my dirt on these motherfucking streets. I used to pull capers with no motherfucking heat. Now I teach my soldiers how to be a fucking king. I'm a big grinding all day, you know I gotta eat. Shit so crazy on these motherfucking streets. Every man for himself, that's the way it's gonna be. I was born to survive, I'm a motherfucking.
What you got for me on that one?
Yeah, that's a yay.
I like that too. That's a yay.
Ride out,
I
Bob.
like that. And you know, this is the thing. I don't know how you judge the music. I know when Chuck T does it, he kind of more goes off of like, are they singles or not? I'm just judging it. Is the song good? Now, some of these songs that we're yaying are not singles. I will say that. They're not all singles. You know, they're album cuts, a lot of them. So I'm just solely judging the music. Do I think the music is good? You know, but if it's a single, that's even better. If it's a yay and it's a single, like for example, the twerking record, that's a yay and it's a single. You know, some of these records are yays, but album cuts, but it's still dope records. Like, I don't know if that would be a single, maybe an album cut, you know what I'm saying? But it was a dope album cut nonetheless. All right, we got 3 more to get into. Let's get into Tula Doe, Last of a Dying Breed, featuring Forever Jones. Last of a Dying Breed featuring Forever Jones by Tura Doe.
Now look at me. You can't see a nigga. I'm what you used to be.
Last of a dying breed.
You can't see a nigga. I'm what you used to be.
Back to the basics, yeah, I want the paper. Fuck all that hoe. I want the dough. Up by the door, headed the more. Out for the play, not out the play. Run through the trap, stay with the strap. You are a fade, I get the fade. Man, I'm in day. All of these suckers that hate. Most of y'all fake anyway. Not about dough with the Glock when I'm low. Knocking you down to the floor. You just got hoe. I just got me some new dough. Think I might give me some more. So rap with the flow. I ain't leaving no print. Question version, no sin. Getting dough with no gloves. I don't hang with no shrimp. Probably thought with this shit. Fuck all your hoes and get rich without trying. My bro said, yeah, I'm supplying. Bitch be lying. Niggas hate still dying. The one of them up still crying. Running on track like a roller. No, still one that got coke on it. Yeah, could still blowing on blunts on. Yeah, girl still come by truckload. Yeah, I'm all about money on the go-go. Ride, baby, that good like a logo. On the 4-way, get the 4 plays all day. You don't wait, some of your folk good green on story. Really, I don't like keep a piece. I'm a pen, I'm a squad on 9 in the click. Y'all really want money, big can't be in there. Got big faces on my own people gang. Gotta go, y'all niggas.
Look at yourself.
I'm gonna have to go with a okay. I wanted more out of the flow. The beat was alright, I thought, but I just wanted more out of the flow and the delivery.
Kind of on similar path, like
Something about his vocals for me that just didn't really hit.
I wanted to hear a little bit more from the song, a little bit more subject matter wise, a little bit more diversity in his lyrics, and I think I don't know if he's going to be able to get that Rick Ross sample cleared. I don't know.
That was a Rick Ross sample.
Yeah, that.
At the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he could do what like Kid Called Quest said and just throw it up on Bandcamp.
Yeah, he could do that.
You know, because I got a couple records with some samples that I need to just go ahead and Bandcamp them. Hold up. We gotta hold up. We gotta skip the line right now. All right, we're loading it up right now, Los. Let me get Let me download it and upload it right now. We gotta skip the line real quick. Where is it at? Let's download it. Because we was about to get into that Rex. So hey, you lucked out because we're about to play that Rex next. And Rex, man, be getting song of the day almost every time. So this next record's called Millennial Attack. It's Delos, Millennial Attack. And as soon as it uploads, here we go. See what you got, Los. See what you got. I like what I hear so far.
Drop that shit. Hey, yo, it's on now. It's about to go down. You wanna talk that talk? But you ain't ready for that walk.
What the fuck?
You wanna bring it? Come on, let's get it. Hey, yo, check it. So you're a star now, got some claim to fame. Felt the game need a change so you can maintain. This too many to blame, this too many to name. You're only getting on cause your sound's the same. It's so fucking lame, it's such a fucking shame. Thinking that your flame forever will remain. You've got more to lose than you could ever gain. It's time to refrain from taking shots when you know you've got no aim. Must be insane, smoking up blunts laced with cocaine. You're going against the grain, against those that already came and laid the foundation for you to entertain. I know you believe we're simple and plain, nothing else to obtain. You're moving too fast, be careful what you wish for. This is for you to stay in your lane. Just like that.
I'm gonna play a little longer since we skipped the line.
Since the present, little adolescents, we never paid mine, but now they cross lines, thinking streams on Spotify makes you solidify. You know it's a sin when you commit suicide. Is this really what you want to make it open season? Now we're on a
Yay, nay, or okay. What you got for me, man?
I'm gonna give it an okay.
That's what I'm gonna go to. I like his choice of production. I love you got the scratches on there. I like the subject matter. I just want more out of the delivery.
Yeah.
I want a little more out of the delivery. But
I
mean,
I love the old school sound. I love the old school flavor, but it sounds a little too old school for that particular track.
it sounds like a 80s flow over a 90s beat, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, good record though, man. Keep them
Definitely.
coming,
Keep
man.
doing
Keep
it.
them coming.
Keep doing it, man.
And yeah, and submissions are free if you don't want to skip the line. But that was a skip the line. So now we about to get into Rex, Nasty P, Tunnel Lights, featuring Slain. Let's see what we got. Rex always be beasting it.
Visionary, I see the tunnel, the image blurry. The road definite, too many in a hurry. A testament to years in the yard. You could bury an experience and choose to carry various chips in the armor that built all your props through. Obstacles colossal, you fought through. Made the impossible possible. Sought to improve your lot. You disprove what's not true. You don't waste time on inconsequential credentials. Valid, found balance in body, soul, mental, Alice. Similar wonderland we navigate. Some of the plans have to wait. Life tend to gravitate to the sand slipping. You see it full, they envy you. Wary of the evil men to do. Sound sensible. General synopsis. Reality be hidden in subliminals. Processing progress in intervals. Nonsense to not picture pinnacles and only see the valley low. Don't brag and boast as we toast. Level the emotions as the roller coaster rolls. The path still decided by the ebb and flows. Don't waste time. You don't wanna waste time. Before you know your eyes is closed. Beside the road you're on is close to tunnel lights from dawn to night.
I'm gonna go with a yay.
Yeah, definitely yay. Oh.
Man, Rex doesn't never disappoint.
I definitely want to hear that one.
And you kind of like froze up right now. Your screen ain't moving. We got one. Yeah, your face is on froze right now.
Uh-oh. I think we're getting down to losing some charge on this on the camera. I think
We got one.
within an hour. We're in an hour mark.
All right. We got one more song then. Let's get it out, knocked out. Ray True Jam featuring Stephanie Mills, MC Light, Dougie Fresh, and Kid Capri. Mr. J's on freeze.
Tonight, gonna take you down, up and down on the dance floor. Yeah, everybody feel the love all over the land. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's real. Just as long as you keep it tight. Feel the music while the DJ keeping you right. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a jam party. I wanna see you move. Show me how you can catch the groove and jam party. Don't worry about nothing else. Just get on.
All right, normally I would play the song a lot longer, but your face is on freeze mode right now. So what do you got? Yay, nay, or okay? So we can go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, I'll give it a yay.
Because it looked kind of crazy right. It looked like crazy right now.
Yeah, like I said, we got the hour's up on this camera. So
all right. So what's your song of the day?
I'm gonna go with the Drasmatic. I'm definitely gonna go back and listen to that one again because I think that was dope. The Rex
That's
is
the
definitely
record
the
I'm going
runner-up.
with too. That's the one I'm going to. Yeah, Drasmatic is my song of the day too. And who was your runner up? Rex.
The Rex is definitely the runner up. Yeah.
Rex is runner up, and I might play this. Actually, we probably won't, but I wanted more out of this Ray True record having MC Light and all them on it. We didn't play their verses or nothing, but I expected more out of that record, man. To be honest with you, but any shout outs before we go?
Of course, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who participated. King Sensation, definitely dope. Shout out to him. Of course, shout out to everybody. Underground Experience. Shout out to the blog as well. Freddie Laps. We got some more coming up. Some more interviews coming up in the next couple weeks as well on the Underground Experience blog. So everybody check that out. Of course, Empire Music, The Empire.
Yeah, y'all go back and watch the early part of this show so y'all can check out that Kid Sensation interview. I'm so glad we brought him on. Very great guy, man. Came out, like he said, 86, I think it was. I mean, I was 7 years old, man, then. So, yeah, shouts out to Kid Sensation. Shouts out to Nims for setting up the interview with Kid Sensation. I definitely got to thank her. And shouts out to you, Mr. J. Shouts out to anybody that's tuned in at any time that watches any of our content. Shouts out to Barry Williams for putting the I Made You. He dropped the I Made You movie on Tubi. Go check that out. It's got Dizzle all through it. And shouts out to my guys from Dizzle. I got to hit Livy O'Hara's back as soon as we get off here. Just so y'all know, Livy O'Hara's is the guy who found and produced Adina Howard. Once again, though, we appreciate y'all tuning in till 7 p.m. Fridays and 5 p.m. Saturdays. Peace. We out.
Peace.
Beats by Trill, straight Killerville, dog.